Welcome to Fundamentals of Human Nutrition. My name is Molly, and I am an instructor in the nursing program at the Fortis Salt Lake City campus. Before becoming a nursing instructor, I worked at a children's hospital here in the Salt Lake Valley. I practiced in various settings, but one of my favorite and most rewarding positions was as the nutrition support nurse for the hospital. I worked with a team of physicians, dietitians, pharmacists, and social workers to find the best ways to meet nutritional needs of the most complicated and acute patients in the hospital. Twice a week, we would round on all of these patients and make recommendations. Each discipline had a unique perspective and goals for the patient. As a nurse, it was my job to make sure that the team considered all of the areas of wellness. Sometimes I found that getting 100% of the nutrition needed for that child would compromise other areas of wellness, and I would advocate for changes to ensure that the child had the best overall care. As I had developed this course, I reflected back in my own experiences as a nursing student and also into my years of practice. I think the biggest thing that kept coming back to my mind is how essential it is to have a solid understanding of nutrition. The information you learn in this course will carry with you throughout the rest of your studies. Throughout this course, you will have the opportunity to see how wellness is affected by nutrition and how every system in the human body relies on nutrients to function properly. So why is nutrition education important to you as a student? Well, three main things came to my mind, and the first is that the science of nutrition is continuously evolving and growing. The second is that the diversity of clients is rapidly increasing, meaning that clients from a variety of backgrounds, faiths, belief systems, and cultures are making up a larger portion of the clients we see in healthcare. The public is also much more aware of the role of nutrition in healthcare, and that means that as healthcare providers, we also need to be much more aware. This course will offer you the opportunity to learn more about each of these areas. Through discussions, case studies, and the lectures, you will see how the client must be the center of the nutritional care process. I'd like to briefly share with you an experience I had as a student nurse that changed my perspectives on health, happiness, food, and culture. In 2004, I had the opportunity to travel to Vietnam with a group called Children of Peace International. This is a Vietnamese proverb that has always meant a lot to me. Giving just a crumb to the hungry is worth more than giving lunch to the satisfied. On our trip, there was a mixture of nurses at all levels of practice, physicians, dentists, and translators. We traveled for 3 weeks throughout the country holding medical clinics. This picture shows the line that had already formed when we arrived to set up the clinic. We took all of our own medical supplies and saw the elderly and the children first. Much of what we saw related directly to poor nutrition. Each child left with a 6-month supply of vitamins to last until the group returned. I could tell you story after story about the things that we saw and treated, but I would like to spend a few minutes showing you what I learned about the nutrition and food in Vietnam and a few things I learned about us as Americans. Everyday farmers bring what they can carry by foot or on bike to the city center. They line the streets with produce harvested that morning. My first thought when I saw this was how different this is from the produce section at the grocery store. Another thing to note is that we took with us a bunch of reflective tape, and this was because these people, as they walk or ride their bikes into the city, it is still dark, and they are often hit by passing cars and buses. This is how the Vietnamese ate everywhere. They sold, prepared, and ate all of their food either on the ground or on small stools like this. One thing that struck me here was how in every culture, food and meals are a social experience. You will also learn through this course the importance of various nutrients. Protein is especially important for proper body function. However, Americans don't often buy our protein, like ducks or chicken, like this. This is another picture of the market. These are creatures from the sea, many of which I had never seen before, that had been caught that morning. There's an elaborate tubing system that pumps water into each bowl to keep everything alive. Meat is an expensive and valuable commodity, and every piece of the animal is used. I was even served a soup made from chicken's feet. Amazingly, it didn't really taste like chicken. In rural areas where open markets aren't available, most homes had an elderly woman out front selling various goods that the household had made. Often their meals in these homes were determined by what didn't sell and what was going bad. Lastly, this is me, in front of a very generous meal prepared for our group by the community we had seen in the clinic this day. It was told to me later that this food would have fed several families for almost a week. From left to right, you can see fish heads, a bologna-like meat made from gelatinized fish parts, crabs, and lobsters. The look on my face is not excitement, since several of the nurses made me sit here for this picture. They thought it was hilarious that I don't like seafood and that this was our meal. Granola bars were my best friend for several weeks. I wish you all the best in this course, and I hope that you too will gain an appreciation for the importance of nutrition in every life and in every culture. And as a healthcare provider, you will understand how nutrition plays a key role in wellness.